All right, guys. So, about 3 years ago, maybe about 4 years ago, I interviewed the gentleman you see on screen right now. This is Papstar. Papstar in 2019 reached out to me saying that essentially it was sync licensing that was one of these lights at the end of the tunnel for him that really pulled him out of a very dark year for himself. He had a couple of suicide attempts, actually. He lost his marriage. He actually also lost his daughter. You can't really pile that kind of stress on a human being and not expect them to essentially collapse. And so Papstar almost did. And for one reason or another, he found that he can still find purpose and meaning and power in his life and not completely give in to all of the stressors that life gave him. So when he reached out to me in 2019, I brought him on the channel, and it just took my breath away, just what he had gone through and how he had found power. And now Papstar is giving us a new update today, and I'm really pleased to see that he's actually gotten some amazing new sync licensing placements, and he's now a certified life coach, and he's doing some great things in terms of kind of paying it forward to other men that are dealing with some things. And I really am interested in that, Papstar, because as a new father myself, I'm finding that we need a lot of help as men, especially as fathers,
Yeah.
and society doesn't usually give it to us. We have to kind of go out there and sort of ask for it ourselves. There's not a lot of it just sort of handed out. So I really like that you're kind of going into that space and really reaching out and being just a supportive role model and just a friend to other men that are really struggling with whatever they're going through in life. So a big part of our channel here on Sync My Music is really about mindset. You know, we talk about sync licensing and all the technical skills, but mindset usually is what separates people that really push forward into this thing, or get overwhelmed by it and kind of just get it, it moves past them and they just kind of move on to something else. So welcome back to the channel, Papstar. I'm really excited to see you, man. How you been? What's been going on in your life basically since we chatted about 3-4 years ago?
Well, I want to say that I'm great, man. I have a completely new, I want to say, outlook on life as in general, and I'm just so thankful for you and the impact you had on my life by attending the course. I had the course, I think Sync Academy, and that's
Okay.
what I attended, Sync Academy, and Sync Academy is what got me started on this journey and just a change of mindset. And losing my wife of 11 years, losing my daughter in the same year in 2019, those things really had a traumatic impact on me, but it also allowed me to value life more, um, and to not really play around with life when it comes down to chasing your dreams, the goals, the things that you feel on the inside that you're called to do. Go for those things and trust your instincts. That's something that you always talked about uh, in Sync Academy is going forward. Having the knowledge, gain the knowledge first. And once you gain that knowledge, go forward, pitch, and put yourself out there. And that's what I've been doing for the past, I want to say, 4 years. It's 2023, right? It's been like we're time traveling, but yeah, that's what I've been doing and taking things day by day. And man, I have seen some miraculous things in my in sync licensing. I remember you talked about setting goals, and these were things that were also on your YouTube channel. Setting goals, writing these goals down. I set a goal to be on Netflix. Bam, I got 2 placements on Netflix. Love Is Blind season 3, and it was another movie. I can't remember, but I got 2 placements on Netflix from things that you taught me. And I'm like seeing these things happen. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh wow, I can do this. And I believe like the very first time I knew this was real, like was when I got a place when Kobe Bryant had passed away. I think this was like 2 years ago when I got the placement. But Kobe Bryant had passed away, and the very next year they did a tribute on Sports Center. And when I heard my music being played on that tribute, they were using the music that I made. I just cried. And I knew that was like my daughter, a way of her saying like, "Hey, I'm in the sky. I'm with." It's almost like she's like, "I'm with Kobe right now. We doing this. Like you're doing what you said you were gonna do." And it also it boosted my confidence, my credibility as a producer. I can approach deals differently now because of the type of placements that I get. And it just I don't know. It's just an amazing feeling. I think my main goal is to encourage people, encourage musicians to to push through those hard times, those impossible times, to push through them, and and let those things that you go through teach you a lesson. Try to look at the positive aspect of it. Don't dwell too much on the negative, because everything does work out for your good if you choose to believe that. And I don't know, man. I guess I'm rambling my own self, but I'm excited, bro. Like, you're looking at a man that couldn't even take baths for weeks, weren't taking baths, wasn't cooking for myself, wasn't eating, wasn't taking care of myself. And then now I'm able to take care of myself and my family with music, with sync, with the knowledge that I learned from, Jesse, and I'm forever thankful to you, Jesse. You're a major piece of my life. You'll always be a major piece of my story. And you have also helped me not only as a producer, but even as an artist. My artistry is taken off because of sync music, of how you told me how to make songs, and how to structure my hip hop songs better for placements. Because it almost like I cut out my whole marketing. I don't even have to have a marketing budget, because I have libraries that accept my music. And when it's on these shows, it markets my music for me, or and they're paying me to use the music. So it's a double whammy, and I just thank God for this avenue of sync music, and how I'm able to provide for my children with what I love, to be able to do it full time and to be able to do it in confidence and from the comfort of my own home. you know, I have a California number, but I live in Mobile, Alabama. And the reason I had to change to a California number is because it was just easier for me to have a California area code and to keep calling people from a Mobile area code when it comes down to business. And if all my business is coming out of, LA, all the Hollywood stuff, that's where it's at. Well, a lot of it is, and a lot of the music libraries kind of stem from California. So I kind of sync my mindset with, okay, I want to be in California. Let me change my phone. My mindset is that now. So, and all that helps me. I get my calls get picked up quicker, and just little things like that have kind of helped me on this journey.
It's beautiful, man. Just love everything that you shared there. It was really cool. Just your ability to be in that dark place that you were in and find faith in yourself and find faith for the future and find hope for the future. That's the tricky part. And I know everybody watching this, they're going to be in one season or another in their life. They may not be obviously facing exactly what you were facing. They might just be facing general, being uninspired, and just feeling like they're kind of in a rut, creatively not excited about things, not seeing a lot of progress. Right. So that's, and right now you've become a certified life coach. So like what, based on what you went through and how you found that hope for yourself, are there specific things that you can point out to somebody who's just in a rut, who's in a depression, who's in sort of a low point? What could you say right now, like on this video, something that might help them, maybe not completely fix their issues instantly? I think everybody's realistic about that, but basically just start to tiptoe them in the right direction to get out of that funk. What would you say?
Absolutely. I want to say, if we could just do some quick tips, I want to say the first thing that I did was I eliminated all limiting beliefs. I had to basically change my belief system. And I had to realize that the things that were happening around me ultimately were choices of my own. And I had to understand that a lot of things that I believed that I were believing to happen, like, well, I would never make it in this game. Those things were happening. You know what I mean? I can never catch a break. I'm always broke. I'm always $1 short and a day late. And I would say these things. So first I had to stop saying, and I had to change my belief system of things that limited me. And I changed my confessions of who I am. I would say that everything I do will prosper. And I would believe that. I would look myself in the mirror and I would say things like, I am more than a conqueror. And I think so. And I did that for a period of time. It didn't happen overnight. I didn't say it one time and all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, I'm I feel it. But I had to take it day by day and I had to change those limiting beliefs. And I no longer say things like, well, I can never make that placement. Ooh, is that Showtime stars? I can't do that. I can't, I just settle for what I've been doing. No, I'm always reaching for the top, the best. So I want to say the first thing, take away and eliminate those limiting beliefs, those things that you doubt yourself in and say that you can't do. Stop saying that. Stop saying that out your mouth and begin to look at yourself. Literally, if you have to stare at yourself in the mirror and say, I can do this, take it day by day, moment by moment sometimes, if you have to. That would be my number one. Let those limiting beliefs, get rid of those. That's one thing that life coaching taught me. And one thing I liked about life coaching is that I had to go through the process within myself before I could even be able to life coach someone else. So everything that I was taught, all the tips, all the notes, all the videos, of course I had to take, I had to do those things for my own life. I had to rewrite my own goals. And I had to do it for myself so I can be able to help someone else. And the amazing thing, Jesse, is to be able to help somebody, you only have to be one step ahead of them. You know what I mean? To pull them where you at. And it's just one step. It's not, you don't have to have everything all together. That was something I always would tell myself. In order to be this good musician, this good producer, this good artist, I need this. I gotta have this. I gotta have this type of microphone. It's gotta be this. And if I don't have these things, then I'm not able to make it at the level. But I'm here telling you that I'm getting placements with a laptop, an interface, and a microphone, and 2 studio monitors. I don't have all the fancy mixing equipment. I don't have none of that. But yet you're hearing my voice, you're hearing my production, on TV. And it just lets me know that it's like these things are possible. I'm from Mobile, Alabama. I'm not even from a place that you would call like a music city, like Nashville or Atlanta or LA. I'm from Mobile, Alabama. And yet I can say that I am a composer, on paper, not because I'm just saying it, but on paper, I'm a composer. You can type my name in on various library sites and you can see my works come up. Those things are actionable, tangible goals that are being achieved. And I believe that anytime a person is achieving their purpose, whatever your calling is, whatever it may be, mind, sync, music, motivational speaking, those are some of my dreams, some of the things I want to do. But whatever your goals are, you can accomplish them one step at a time, no shortcuts. Do I sometimes be tempted by these shortcuts? And some of these people saying, hey, if you pay this money, you pay this amount of money, we can get you placed here and get you placed there. But I know a lot of those are scams. It's not real. You know what I mean? And I was taught that by Jesse, by Sync Academy. These were things that kind of almost fumbled me up at one point in my career because you got to understand, I've been doing this 4 years, and I know a lot of people that's been doing a lot more, but I've been doing it for 4 years. And my first 2 years, I almost struggled because of the patience thing. It was just that patience of waiting for my works to show. And when you're in that temptation and you have these different agents coming to you, telling you these little shortcuts, to be able to get your music placed, you're kind of tempted to do them. But I stayed focused. I listened to the path. And on my 3rd year, I started really seeing some things. And I'm not saying it takes you that long, but I know I started seeing what it took for me with somebody with 5 kids. Okay, I don't know your situation or who's listening, but I have 5 kids. I have 6 kids, but 5 that are still here that I'm responsible for in this physical world. And I'm telling you, I know what I needed. I know the number that I needed to help that. So in my 3rd year, I started seeing what I wanted to see.
And that alone is just amazing that you have 5 kids. You're still able to find time to do this and to, have your balance work out where you basically have family time and you have your career and all that kind of stuff. Because as a new dad, I have 2 kids and I can barely handle 2. So I don't know what you're doing with 5, man. You should definitely write a book on that because I think that's just really, really impressive. I want to even just dive a little bit deeper into that subject because going back to where you said erasing those limiting beliefs. And I've struggled with this myself because it's sometimes they're unconscious. You don't even actually know, right? It's like almost this thing you've been doing it so long in your life that you don't even realize it until you start to become aware of it and you start to point out, oh, that's a limiting belief. I never noticed it, right? So one thing I struggled with, I want to ask if you struggled with this, was Noticing the limiting beliefs was step one. And then going from that to, okay, let me replace that with a more enabling belief, an empowering belief,
Right.
was really hard actually, because we're so used to limiting ourselves that going into that next phase of like, no, I'm not going to say that I can't do something. I'm going to say that I can do it. And I think I will succeed at this. You don't really have the evidence yet because you haven't
Yeah.
succeeded at it, right? And so in your mind, you're going, am I a fraud by saying this to myself? Am I just my fear actually with going into these empowering beliefs was, am I deluding myself? Like maybe I
Hmm.
do have limits, and by just ignoring those limits, I am now deluding myself into going into a very dangerous place where I'm just delusional. So
Right.
did you struggle with that, and what did you do about that?
Not only did I struggle with that, I also had people around me that were agreeing with that notion. Agreeing with the notion that would, man, you don't think that maybe you're kind of doing too much, or maybe you kind of going overboard. You're in Sync Academy, and then you're also trying to be a life coach, and you know, you think that's too much. You got 5 kids. You think that's possible. You know, so I was also surrounded by that. And hearing that constantly. The first thing I had to do was, for lack of better terms, I just had to separate myself away from the people and the environment that was agreeing with those notions, because those were notions that I was trying to get out. Those were thoughts. But I also allow those thoughts because they're going to come. The thoughts come, but I'll release those thoughts and then replace them with what I'm believing. And I believe that, and I treated each instant separately. So whenever that thought comes to me, it comes to my mind, I focus in that moment that no, okay, I do feel this way. I do feel that maybe this is too much for me, or maybe I am taking on too much. But inside, I believe that I can do this, and that's what I choose to believe. And not only that, I have created a plan on paper, a tangible plan that is from my mind, that I put down, that I thought of, that is not physical yet, but now I put it on paper on how I can achieve the goal. So now I've eliminated the excuse of I can't do this, because I have a plan. I made a plan. I can achieve making this placement by doing this, researching the network. Okay, I researched the network. I see that they are lacking this type of music. You know what I mean? Okay, I need to make these type of songs. I make these type of songs. I'm gonna make a full album of these type of songs, not just a couple of them. All the albums gonna have these type. Now they can't deny me. You got 10 beautiful tracks of what you're looking for. How can you deny what I'm saying? Now I have the plan. You know what I mean? So now I can be confident in what I'm doing. So I think that gaining confidence within yourself is a really big thing, especially in sync. You got to be confident in your abilities, and you can't doubt your abilities. And what helps me with confidence is knowledge, education. The more knowledge I have on the subject, the more educated I feel on the subject, the more confidence I have in my abilities to perform the duty. And so I feel like the education and getting an environment to where, or creating a team of people, friends, whatever, of people that believe the way you believe. You got to surround yourself with that, because this world already offers the doubt automatically. It just comes with this world. And so in a world of that, you need to be around people that are believing and in you the way you're believing in yourself. So sometimes they believe more in you than yourself.
And it's really interesting why the world is that way. And I totally agree with you. It's like the default setting for human beings is limit yourself, and sort
Yeah.
of doubt yourself and doubt others. And I don't, there's probably many reasons for that, but I am definitely becoming very aware of that now with my girls, getting into the point where it's like, all right, what are we going to do about education with them, right? Because I know that for myself and a lot of my public education experience, a lot of it was that limiting belief being put in there, and discouraging at least going for things and getting more curious about things. I just felt that in my experience, Yeah, I'm not speaking for every public school, but in my personal one, there were definitely a lot of things I think I would have gotten more into, but I was sort of discouraged, or there was peer pressure to not do that or whatever. And it is
Yeah,
interesting that we are, I love human beings. We're beautiful creatures, but we do have that kind of crabs in a bucket mentality sometimes, where we want to pull each other back and say, oh, no, no, you're, like you said, your friends and family telling you you're too ambitious, you need to pull it back. And I'm told that constantly as well. So I can totally relate to that.
yeah,
Sometimes they're right. Sometimes I am sort of way overloaded and I have to get some sort of reality check. But oftentimes it's just that they don't see the vision that I see, and they just see somebody working too much. And it's like, well, I got the capacity to be able to do this right now, so I'm going to go for it, kind of a thing. So, well, Pap,
yeah.
that's awesome, man. If people want to reach out to you, maybe get some of your life coaching or just kind of talk to you privately, or how can they reach out to you? What links do you have out there for the people to connect with you?
Yeah, all my links, you can go to www.papstarmusic.com. And you can get all of my links from there: music, production, news, join the mailing list. Um, I'm currently developing, I want to say, more of a business profile for the motivational speaking, the aspect of what I do. But that's in the works. But you can definitely get all that on www.papstarmusic.com.
That's awesome. And I'll link that down below so everybody can go check that out. And, Papstar, he reached out to me a little bit too close to sync up this year. So that's why he wasn't able to join us in person. We kind of had everything sort of scheduled out. But if we do another sync up, it all works out and we all want to do it again. Pap, I hope I can just guarantee you're going to be there next time.
Man,
I
I'll
don't know
be
if it'll
there.
be in LA. We might move it to a different city or whatever. But I think your story and just having you there in person would make a huge difference, just because you've lived it. That's one thing.
Yeah,
Like, you've actually gone through hell essentially and made it to
yeah.
live and made it out, and can live to tell the story essentially. So I think you've got a really powerful gift, and I'm just really grateful that you're sharing it with the world. You decided to open up and let everybody in on that, on your story, and you're definitely providing an amazing resource for people to just relate to another human being that's just been going through tough stuff but figured out a way to get through it. So Papstar, again, big props to you, man. Keep up the great
Yes,
work.
sir.
Keep up your amazing, sync licensing career and your life coaching stuff. I think you're going to do amazing in both of those fields. So I appreciate your time today, man.
All right. Thank you.